Okay, girls, I'm going to do another video, young woman, whoever you are, about what I said about last night in one of my videos, just to explain myself more because it can look like I'm contradicting myself, but I'm actually going to explain this. So I said that we cannot expect women just to ask God for forgiveness. And I have seen this, and I have to be careful because a lot of this is confidential. But off the top of my head, I have seen in the process of healing women who say, look, this happened to me a long time ago. I didn't know what I didn't know. So I don't have a problem with it. And this is not a woman who, a lot of women, like, they don't have regret. They do have regret, but they stuff it, okay, right after an abortion. But then they live in denial and they're like, okay, you know what? I did the best I could. We see this like with Busy Phillips and other people who just want to stuff it. Before we can ask a woman or help a woman to go to God to say, you know what, God forgives as far as the east to the west, we need her defenses down. We need her not to feel pressured because that same pressure that she felt with the abortion can be a huge block to actually knowing the truth and knowing that, God does forgive. So there is a lot of trauma before a woman can actually go to God. A lot of women feel shame. They feel like they can't even, women hold this in for like 30, 40 years. They feel like they cannot go to Him. They are not good enough. And the truth is, none of us are good enough. None of us deserve God's goodness or grace in our life. That's the truth. So there is something different, though, about women who have had abortions where the shame has been heaped on for so many years that they just can't get through it. So we want to be able to help women, I believe, with some Bible studies and helping them to know who Christ is first. And once you do that, and once they feel secure in Christ's love, then they can say, well, yeah, I think this was what happened, and they can grieve and they can be like, this was where the real blame is. This was, either my parents made the decision or my boyfriend or the doctor told me lies. I find it's very rare, even when a woman does choose, I find it's really rare that she has chosen with the full knowledge of everything. I think if women have had ultrasounds will actually stop women from choosing or thinking that abortion is the right thing. There's something powerful about an ultrasound. She sees her baby and she sees the truth. So they're in women are in like this world of lies, right? Tons of lies coming at them. And they have to be able to see the truth. And I think seeing their baby is like the best thing that can happen because you cannot, all those arguments, philosophical arguments are just dead. They're dead when you see the facts. So we need to show women the facts and show them the truth about their babies. And then later on, the truth about Christ, that God is not a God sitting over there ready to hit you over the head every single time you make a mistake. He is there, open arms. He was there with you. Usually, God is everywhere, okay? But He is, He turns from the wicked, but He is still there. He is everywhere, or else He wouldn't be God. So He's right there. It says, knock and the door shall be open. And if you can just go to God and be like, God, I am dealing with this. I don't know how to deal with this. I can't take blame. Even if you can't, just tell Him, I can't take blame. I can't, I don't really understand all the inner workings of what happened. He will help you through it. So just go to Him, talk to God. I know it can be hard for me to talk about things that are difficult, but God, be assured, God already knows your thoughts. Even before you say a word, He knows what you're going to say. So even if you just think about it and you can't say anything, God is going to help you. So my story is a huge, 180 story. When I had my firstborn and he was kicking, that is when the truth hit me. I was just like, oh my goodness, the truth, just like I couldn't comprehend. I couldn't deal with the truth that I was now facing, which is that was a baby when that abortion happened. And like I said, I didn't know what an abortion was. I was brought to a clinic. I was brought to a restaurant to go out to eat. I had to, stay in a car until I, what's the word? Opened up, dilated. That's the word. So, I mean, I have a huge block from the time I was at the restaurant to brought back to the clinic, the doctor's office, and somehow I was upstairs. I don't know if I fainted. I don't know if they carried me upstairs. I still have that block over after like 35 years. So there is so much to this. So you want to be able to trust God. When I first went to church, it wasn't an issue. I knew God forgave me, had my sons, busy homeschooling in the church for years, and I really didn't deal with this because there was nothing to deal with. It wasn't an issue. And then society started talking about this more, and I knew that I needed to grow in intimacy with Christ before I could move on and continue healing in any other way. And then from there, with the post-traumatic stress that I had when my kids were growing up, hearing a vacuum or something, I was now able to grieve my baby. So it is a long process, but the biggest thing that's going to help you is to go to church, depend on others to help you out as much as you can. I think the biggest help for me was knowing, one, the way churchmen can be. Sometimes they can be very kind and very loving. If a woman knows she's loved, she's got nothing to be afraid of, nothing at all. The other thing is the other women who were sisters to me, because in that you get her in a relationship, right? So you need the relationship of the community to help you heal. So my sisters in Christ were the ones helping me out to see that, it's okay. What you went through, you're going to be okay. I mean, I know the abortion industry always says it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. That's all you hear. Well, maybe you're not okay. Maybe you're not. Maybe you need some help. With a sisterhood, knowing that they also are Christians and they may be further along, or they're not sitting there condemning you, especially the ones who have had an abortion and they've healed, they're actually going to help you come out of it. And I think the other thing that helped me a lot was being on the sidewalk and actually seeing truth. Actually to see people say too, this is what a baby looks like when it's aborted. This, going on live action, this is what it looks like. So just as much as an ultrasound can help you, seeing a crushed baby too, seeing the truth, not in a condemning way, but just seeing that this is what really happened. And the more you have truth, the more you're going to heal. But the biggest thing, again, is your walk with Christ and knowing how much he loves you. I remember having a grace group years ago. One of the ladies was wonderful. She was just like, Melissa, we love you. You look awesome. You look like you're a model. You look like, you're dressed in a sailor suit. And, we are so happy to see you. The type of woman who can pour into you and not be critical, those are the ones that you want to put yourself around. The ones who treat you very well, because the relationship you had in the context of the abortion treated you like trash. So you want to have the good relationships around you. Okay, that's what I got for now, guys.